How different it is here, ma'am. So peaceful, so quiet. It's heaven in your town, but in the others, oh, surely the end of the world is coming. It's terrible the way they go on. There's no place anywhere. All noise and hurry and traffic and people always running about. It's like a Sodom and Gomorrah. Those who live in the sight of God have no need to be in haste. Now, ma'am, you are such a lovely example of virtue, if I may say so. A garden of peace it is to be in your company. Everything is done so properly, but in Moscow, Moscow, it makes me shudder to think of it. It is full of sinfulness. They've got a giant fiery serpent there which puffs and screams. It's all for the sake of speed. Yes, I've heard tell of it, but I've seen it, ma'am. Screams and roars just like 50 devils, and it rushes forward so fast that holy people cross themselves for fear. They all call it a locomotive. Only the foolish and unrighteous can believe in such things. There is no true faith these days. And I saw something else. A vision it was, but I saw it clearly with my own eyes. I saw it. There he was. You know who I mean. He had a black face, and he stood on top of a tower, spreading his hands as if he were scattering seeds over the city. It was seeds of sin he was sowing, and the people were rushing about, trying to gather them up. They are all running about looking for them. No wonder the women are so thin and restless. There he is, always scattering. There's no nice, comfortable women like you in Moscow, ma'am, full of good works. I can quite believe you. In these days, anything is possible. What brings you out of this hour of the night? Can't I go out when I like? Why shouldn't I go out, eh? Who's to stop me, eh? Nobody. Well, what do you ask me for? Who have I to answer to? Why the devil? Don't you come talking to me in that tone of voice. If you can't keep a civil tongue in your head, you'd better find someone else to talk to. You can't talk to me like that, because I won't have it. Come indoors, Faklusha. Wait a bit. Martha Kabanova, I don't want you to be angry with me. You're not in a hurry. And I want to talk to you. I like to talk to you. You understand me? As nobody understands me. If you've any business, get it over quickly, and you needn't shout about it. I've no business. I just want to be here. See, I'm drunk. That's what's the matter. Drunk. You don't expect me to congratulate you, do you? No, I don't. And I don't want you to be angry either. I'll never be better till I've slept it off. I'm drunk, see? You'd better get to sleep then. How can I go to sleep? I've nowhere to sleep. Can't you go home? I don't want to go home. But why not? Because they're all angry there, and I don't want any more rows. I've had enough rows. There's nobody at home to make a noise but yourself. You shouldn't be so quarrelsome. And why shouldn't I be quarrelsome? Tell me that. Why shouldn't I if I want? It's no great credit to be always terrorizing women. They should do as I tell them. Perhaps you want me to obey them, eh? Your house is full of people, and it seems you can't get along with any of them. That's true. Why have you come here? I want you to talk me into a better mood. There's nobody can talk to me like you can. Go in, Faklusha, and tell them to put out a little supper. Come indoors. I don't want to go indoors. I'm worse indoors. What if it puts you into such a temper? It started this morning, and it got worse and worse all day. I expect they've been asking you for money. Yes, they are always asking for money. They never leave me alone. Money, 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 as if they were all in a plot against me. You'll have to give it them, that's all. I know that. but I hate to be asked. When anybody asks, it makes me boil up at once. Even if I wanted to say yes, I should say no and begin to curse. If I owe money, I must pay it, and pay it I do, but you can't expect me to keep my temper. And when I'm out of temper, I curse everything and everybody for nothing at all. Have you so much to put up with? If you'd listen to me, I'd tell you what I have to put up with. Today I had prayed and fasted and was all ready to take sacrament. And what do you think happened to me? Just when I was feeling righteous, a peasant comes asking for money I owed him. I know he supplied me with food, but why must he come along for money at that moment? The evil one tempted me, and I fell into sin. I cursed him for more than an hour, and a wonder it is I didn't thrash him too. Then my conscience smote me, and I went on my knees at his feet and asked his forgiveness. Yes, on my knees, before a peasant, and with everybody looking on. Why don't you control your temper? I believe you do it on purpose. What's that you say, Martha Kabanova? It's true. How? On purpose? Well, if you think anybody is about to ask you for money, you flare up and make them afraid to ask you. You know what you're doing. Suppose I do. Who likes parting with his money? Supper is served, ma'am. You'll feel better after a taste of God's good food. Come along. Thank you, Martha Kabanova. Come along, then. There's Boris Grigorovitch coming. Maybe he is looking for his uncle, or maybe he is only out for a walk. Is my uncle indoors? Yes. Do you want him? They only wanted to know at home where he had got to, but since he is here, let him remain. At home, they are very thankful he is out. I wish he'd stay out always. If my mistress would only marry him, she'd soon teach him better manners. But I must not be seen gossiping here with you. Goodbye. Oh, so if I could only exchange one glance, one unspoken word, I might read her thoughts, but always the locked door stands between. We live in the same town, and yet we are strangers. We might be 1,000 miles apart. I only catch a glimpse of her in church or in the street, never anything more. She is shut away from the world like a prisoner. When a woman is married in this town, she is as good as dead. She is never allowed to go anywhere or see anyone. Here I am again at this gate. Something seems ever to direct my steps to her house. Yet why do I come? For there's no chance of meeting her. It might do her harm too, for the place is full of gossip. Hello, sir. Out for a walk? Yes, and a lovely evening too. It is indeed. Dreaming stars in the sky, fragrant airs blowing over the Volga, the gentle music of the lapping water and a cloudless heaven, on such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise. Let's go on to the boulevard. There's nobody there. Strange, isn't it? One would expect everybody to be out walking on such a night as this. But that's just like our town. Do the folks go on the boulevard for their walks? No. If they do, it's only on fete days to show off their fine clothes. You'll never meet anybody there except perhaps a drunken clerk reeling home from the inn. Wouldn't you think people would love to be out under the stars on just such a night? No, they never feel the beauty and the peace that only nature gives. They prefer to sit behind locked doors. If you only knew the vice and misery that go on there, all hidden away. Only God sees it. Look at us in the streets and in the church. They say, for there they are on exhibition. But in the rambling houses behind the high walls and locked gates, what happens? They bully and lie and cheat and beat their kinsfolk and their servants until they are too frightened to tell. They keep savage dogs as if bolts and bars were not enough. But no more of this. There's a couple over there. They are happy enough. It's only the young lovers who steal away out of their homes who are happy in this town. They are kissing. It's the way of lovers. Two's company. I'll walk on. You'll find me on the boulevard. I'll be with you very soon. You know the little dell behind the Kabanov's garden? There's a path leading to the gate. Yes. Take a walk there later. Don't fail. But why? Don't ask questions. And don't be stupid. Perhaps somebody's expecting you. Hurry if you would find out. Nobody here. What's the little baggage up to? I suppose I must wait for her. Boris Grigorovitch, the devil. Who'd ever think a quiet fellow like you would be up on the prowl? Kudryas, is that you? It is. What are you up to? What are you here for? I suppose because I want to be here. Perhaps, Boris Grigorovitch, it's the same reason as yours. Kudryas, will you do me a favor? I've got to meet somebody here. Perhaps you wouldn't mind. I like you, sir. But that's asking too much. I've been here many times, and I won't share my girl with anybody. So keep away, lest something worse comes of it. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Find a girl of your own, and nobody will mind. But don't you come here trying to sneak other fellows' girls. That's not the way we do things. If you try and meddle with my girl, I'll kill you. So mind what you're about. There's no need to be so angry. I don't want to steal anybody's girl. I wouldn't have come at all if I hadn't been told. It's the first time I've ever been here. Who told you? I don't know. It was dark. A girl stopped me and said somebody was waiting to see me in the hollow behind the Kubanov's garden. That's a poor tale. Kudryas, could I speak to you frankly? You won't gossip. You can tell me anything. I give you my word. I know how to hold my tongue. I'm in love. Well, that's all right. There's plenty of girls to have fun with, but don't come here for one. It's only the wives who are shut up. That's just where it's so terrible. You don't mean to say that you are in love with a married woman? She is married, Kudryas. Take my advice, Boris Grigorovitch, and give it up. No good will come of it. I wish I could. I know I ought never to think of her. I'm not like you, Kudryas. Off with one and on with another. If I love, I cannot give her up. She is my whole life. Do you want to ruin the poor wife? Oh, heaven forbid, Kudryas. I only want to see her, to speak to her, nothing more. I wouldn't harm her for all the world. I believe you, but you never can tell what will happen. And don't you understand the people here? If they get as much as a hint, why, they'd hunt the poor thing to death. Don't say things like that. They couldn't be so unjust and cruel. Does she encourage you? How could she? When do you meet? We have never met alone. I've only spoken to her in their house with my uncle. I see her in church, and sometimes I pass near her on the boulevard when she prays. Her face is as beautiful as an angel's. Why, then it must be the young wife of Kabanov. Yes, Boris Grigorovitch, let me congratulate you. Why? Because you're in luck. She must have sent for you. There's no one else. You're joking. It can't be true. It's true enough. What's the matter? I'll go mad with happiness. Don't lose your wits, because you'll need them. Take care you don't get her into trouble. Her husband's a fool, a drunken fool, but we all know what her mother-in-law is, a holy terror. Have a care, Boris Grigorovitch. Ah, where is my true love? Oh, where is my true love? Where is he waiting for me? He's waiting for you, love, for his own true love. Will you not come to me? Stay here now. Your luck is in this time. Come on, we'll go on to Volga. You know how I hate waiting and you're always late. Come on, then. It's all like a lovely poem, almost too beautiful to be true. A starlit night and singing and lovers meeting. There they go, walking on a carpet of sweet dreams. How I envy them, and what am I waiting for? What shall I say to her when she comes? Will she come? All the words I ever thought of are gone, and my mind is blank. My limbs are shaking, and my heart beats so fast that it almost hurts. Is it you, Katerina Petrovna? At least you have come. If I could only tell you how much I've thought of you, how glad I am you've come. You must not touch me. You must not. Oh, why are you here? Why have you come to torture me? Are you sending me away? You must go away. Go away now, and I must never, never see you. God will never forgive the sin, whatever made you come. But you told me to come. It cannot be. You know it cannot be. I am not a wife. I must live with my husband even till I die. Oh, what sin is on my soul, and nothing can take it away. If only I had never seen you. There's nothing for me now. You've taken everything from me that made life possible. No, no. You've taken my peace and my spirit. I can't go on any longer. Come and sit down. Sit down here. Try and listen to me calmly. Why do you wish to ruin me? Don't say that. I only wanted to bring happiness. How could I wish to hurt you? When I love you more than all else in the world, I'd give up everything for you. Have I not given up everything to come to you? Think what I've done. But you came of your own free will. No, or I would not have come at all. I could not help myself. I have no will now, not but yours. I had to come. Wanted to come. Dearest. If only death would take me now. Nay, give us life. We could be so happy, so perfectly happy. I can't put it into words. Not for me. I know it in my heart too well. Don't say that. Why, if you love me, what does it matter? Nobody shall know. It shall be our secret. Nobody need know. If I have done wrong, I must pay for it. I've sinned in meeting you so. It's too late. I don't care who knows. I love you. Love you. I don't care. They say if one suffers on earth for sin, it is better hereafter. Now we are so happy. Why spoil it with such thoughts? Why? It is stupid. Why should I think of tomorrow now when my dreams have come true? And I thought you were sending me away, that you didn't care. How could I send you away? My heart wouldn't let me. I've prayed and longed for you so much that if you hadn't come, I think I should have run away to you. I never even suspected that you loved me. I've loved you and thought only of you from the moment I first saw you. I have been yours, all yours, in my heart ever since. If you had sent a token, I would have followed you and never looked back. Will your husband be away long? A fortnight. That is a long time, and we can be together with every moment full of happiness. And then they will lock me up and I shall die. But if they don't, I'll see you then too. I'll find some way to see you. Well, are you two friends now? Yes. It's your turn now to go for a walk. We want to sit here. When it's time to go in, Vanya will shout. A fine idea, that. Slipping out of the garden gate. It's my plan. You're a good one for scheming. But suppose your mother finds out. She won't. She'd never even think of it. You never know. Suppose now. We're safe enough. She sleeps soundly in her first sleep. The early morning might be more risky. You haven't answered. Suppose by some chance she did find out. Well, suppose the gate into the yard is locked on the garden side, and she'd have to knock and knock to wake us up to open it. We could always say we were sleeping so sound that we never heard her. Besides, one must always take risks. If you want something worth having, the only thing to do is to take care we're not found out. I wonder what time it is. It's 1 o'clock. How do you know? The watchman has just struck one blow on his board. Oh, it's time we were going. We'll slip out earlier tomorrow. Give them a call. Time for us to go. Time for us to go. Don't you hear me calling you? It's time for us to go. I hear you. Goodbye, Vanya. Till tomorrow. You are not saying goodbye forever. Hurry up. You'll see each other tomorrow. Yes, we must go. We must go. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'll dream of you. Till tomorrow. Yes, yes, tomorrow.